Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about archetypes again, spiritual archetypes. And we're actually going to start looking at Desperate Housewives. I'm going to go through each main character and talk about the archetype that they embody with some examples. That way you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. And we're also going to go over the shadow side of each one. And with Gaby Solís, she's very fiery, she's very glamorous and irresistible, but beneath her designer labels and her sharp wit, she embodies one of the most powerful spiritual archetypes in existence, which is the lover. And in her highest form, the lover archetype is sensual, passionate, and deeply connected to beauty and pleasure. But in her shadow, she craves validation, uses love as a weapon, and fears true intimacy. In Gaby, she walks the razor's edge between both. So let's get into the lover's call: beauty, desire, and power. From the moment that Gaby steps onto Asteria Lane, her existence alone commands attention. She is the ultimate embodiment of Venus energy. She's graceful, she's alluring, she's magnetic. And like the goddesses of love before her, like Aphrodite, Ishtar, or Ochun, Gaby understands that beauty is a form of power. After all, it is how Gabrielle escaped poverty. And she climbed the social ladder, and she ultimately kept the world at her feet. But here's the thing about the lover archetype. When it's out of balance, it seeks validation more than true love itself. Take her affair with John, for example, her teenage gardener, right? John Rowland. She has everything. Wealth, a successful husband, but she's still starving for that adoration that she does not receive from her husband Carlos, because Carlos is usually at work. He's always working overtime, trying to buy her presents because she feels neglected. And at this point, she doesn't want love, she wants worship. And when Carlos stops giving that to her, she finds it elsewhere. But here's the twist. What she chases never fulfills her. So now let's get into the shadow lover, when love becomes a cage. The shadow side of the lover is a woman who fears being unseen. Because Gaby thrives on admiration, what happens when the attention fades? When Carlos stops doting over her, when the men stop looking, and when beauty alone isn't enough. She then falls into a deep existential crisis because without external validation, who is Gaby Solís? She comes into a major identity crisis. And her marriage with Carlos is the perfect example because she marries him for security, for stability, and she ultimately thinks that wealth will be enough to keep her satisfied. But for her, passion without depth is very empty, and no amount of diamonds can fill that void inside her. So she acts out, cheating, sabotaging, and running. And we see this all throughout season 1 especially. The lover in shadow chases love, but she fears true intimacy. And for much of her life, Gaby mistakes passion for power, when ultimately real love requires surrender. Now let's get into the lover's transformation, from surface to soul. Here's the beauty of the lover archetype. When she awakens, she realizes that love isn't something to be possessed, it's something to be shared. And Gaby's real transformation happens not when she gets everything that she wants, but when she learns to love without conditions. We see it when she fights for Carlos, not because he provides for her, but because she chooses him. And we see it in her motherhood, when she sacrifices for her children, and she puts their needs before her own for the first time. And we see it also when she learns to love herself, not just as a beautiful woman, but a woman of substance. So, in conclusion, Gaby Solís, she starts as a woman who thinks love is about desire, power, and possession, but by the end of the series, she embodies the true lover, one who understands that real love isn't about being worshipped, it's about being seen and adored for who you are, and giving that same adoration to others. And when she finally allows herself to be seen for who she truly is, she becomes more powerful than ever. And she's ultimately happier than she was when the series first started. So I hope this journey helped you guys kind of understand the lover archetype and see the different shadows that it possesses and how we can kind of grow through it. Okay, if you would like to book a reading or a session with me, you can click the link in my description or visit my website at sirensnectar.com. And until next time, you guys, I love you. Bye. Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about archetypes again, spiritual archetypes.